What if I told you that one of the most dangerous people in your life doesn't look
Every time you
dangerous
open
at all?
social media,
They're
your
not
brain
usually
enters
loud.
a reward
They're not
loop.
always
You don't-
rude. In fact, many narcissists appear confident, charming, and highly successful. That's what makes them difficult to spot. At first, they make you feel special. They give you attention, praise, and validation. But slowly, something changes. You start feeling exhausted after talking to them. You begin questioning yourself. Your confidence drops, and somehow everything always seems to revolve around them. The scary part? Many people spend years around narcissists without realizing it. Today, you'll learn the 7 biggest signs that you're dealing with a narcissist. And the last sign is often the clearest indicator of all. Sign number 1. Everything is always about them. Have you ever shared exciting news with someone only to watch the conversation instantly become about them? Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you achieved something you've worked hard for. But instead of celebrating with you, they immediately start talking about their own accomplishments. This isn't just confidence. It's a constant need to be the center of attention. Psychologists believe narcissistic people often depend on admiration to maintain their self-image. As a result, they struggle to let someone else have the spotlight. Over time, you'll notice a pattern. They interrupt more than they listen. They tell stories that make them look impressive. And somehow, every conversation circles back to them. When you leave these conversations, you may feel like your thoughts and experiences don't really matter. That's because in their world, they often don't. Sign number 2. They need constant validation. Everyone enjoys compliments. There's nothing wrong with wanting appreciation, but narcissists don't just enjoy validation, they depend on it. Notice how some people constantly seek praise for everything they do. They want recognition, attention, admiration, and when they don't get it, their mood changes quickly. They may become irritated, angry, or unusually distant. Deep down, many narcissists have fragile self-esteem hidden behind a confident exterior. The compliments and attention they receive act like fuel. Without it, they feel insecure. That's why they often chase status, popularity, or approval from others. Their self-worth isn't built from within. It's built on what other people think of them. Sign number 3. They lack genuine empathy. Empathy is one of the most important parts of healthy relationships. It's the ability to understand and care about another person's emotions. But narcissists often struggle with this. Imagine you're having a terrible day. You open up about your stress, sadness, or frustration. At first, they may appear supportive. But very quickly, the focus shifts away from your feelings. Sometimes they dismiss your emotions. Sometimes they minimize your problems. And sometimes they seem completely uninterested. The reason is simple. They're often focused on how situations affect them, not how they affect other people. As a result, people around them frequently feel misunderstood and emotionally alone. Sign number 4. They manipulate through guilt. Manipulation doesn't always look obvious. In fact, the most effective manipulation often feels invisible. Narcissists are experts at making people feel guilty. Let's say they hurt your feelings. Instead of apologizing, they flip the situation around. Suddenly, you're the one apologizing. You begin feeling guilty for speaking up, guilty for setting boundaries, guilty for protecting your own needs. This tactic works because guilt is a powerful emotion. The more guilty you feel, the easier you become to control. Eventually, you stop expressing concerns altogether because you're afraid of creating conflict. And that's exactly what the manipulator wants. Sign number 5. They can't handle criticism. Most emotionally healthy people can accept criticism. It may sting, but they eventually reflect and learn from it. Narcissists often react very differently. Even small feedback can feel like a personal attack. Imagine calmly pointing out a mistake. Instead of discussing it, they become defensive. They blame someone else. They make excuses, or they attack the person giving the feedback. Why? Because criticism threatens the image they've built of themselves, and protecting that image becomes their top priority. To a narcissist, being wrong isn't just uncomfortable, it feels unacceptable. Sign number 6. They make you doubt yourself. This is one of the most damaging signs. A narcissist may deny things they clearly said. They may twist facts, change details, or completely rewrite events. Over time, you start questioning your own memory. You think, maybe I remembered it wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm the problem. This psychological tactic is often called gaslighting, and it's incredibly powerful because once someone begins doubting themselves, they become easier to manipulate. The narcissist gains control while the other person's confidence slowly disappears. That's why this behavior can be so emotionally destructive. Sign number 7. The relationship feels completely one-sided. Perhaps the biggest sign of all is imbalance. Look at the relationship honestly. Who is doing most of the giving? Who is making the sacrifices? Who is constantly adjusting to keep the peace? In healthy relationships, support goes both ways. Respect goes both ways. Effort goes both ways. But with a narcissist, the relationship often feels like a one-way street. You give your time, your energy, your attention, your emotional support. And yet, when you need the same in return, they're nowhere to be found. Eventually, you feel exhausted, not because relationships are difficult, but because carrying a relationship alone is exhausting. And that's often the clearest sign that something isn't healthy. Ending. If you recognized several of these signs in someone, it doesn't automatically mean they have narcissistic personality disorder. Only mental health professionals can make that diagnosis. However, these behaviors can still be harmful. The important thing is learning to recognize the patterns. Because once you recognize them, you can set healthier boundaries, protect your confidence, and avoid being controlled by someone else's need for power and attention. If you learned something new, subscribe for more psychology insights. Your mind is more powerful than you think.